everybody, it's Teresa. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to be making another macrame bracelet today. It's not going to be exactly like the one I made the other day. I'm going to use the same knot, the square knot, but it's going to be a little different. I didn't want to do exactly the same thing, but I had a request to do one with a sliding adjustable closure for people that have a hard time with a clasp. So I'm going to do that. Also, the lady that requested it mentioned that she had some hemp cord. You can use any cord. Like I said in the other video, you can use any cord to do macrame. It doesn't have to be the waxed cord. The S-line I used the other day was not waxed, and I didn't wax it. You can use hemp. I've never used hemp. I just never have had any, but you can use hemp. I've got a couple. I pulled out a couple of kinds here that I've used. This is just some braiding cord that I got at Walmart. It's not waxed at all. I don't even know what that's made out of. I can't find on the package here anywhere that tells me what kind of cord it is. This is some bamboo cord that I got at Walmart. I've used that. It's not waxed at all. I like the waxed cord because it kind of grips the knots and the beads better, but you can use anything. And the S-line I used the other day, like I said, was not waxed, and if you want to wax your cord, you can. I've got this wax here and it looks awful because I've had it forever. But I've run so many different kinds and colors of cord through it. But all you do is you just take your cord and you just put it through the little slit there and you just run it through, and it waxes the cord, and it helps a little if you want it to be waxed. But you don't have to use wax cord. You can use really any kind of cord at all. It just depends on, if your beads will go through it. You don't have to use beads with macrame, and I'm not going to use beads today. It's just going to be the cord, and I've got this little link that I found in my stash that I completely forgot I had that I'm going to use for the center of the bracelet, and I've got a couple of the little star spacer beads that were in the last bargain bead box. I'm going to use just to put on the little ends of the sliding closure as kind of a decoration. I'm going to be using these two cords today. I got these on Amazon. These are a polyester cord. It's a 0.8 millimeter, and I like these. They're waxed, but the wax is on the inside of the cord, and they work really well. They hold the knots really well. And I wanted to use these colors because one of the little stars in my link is kind of that purple, and there's another star in there that's kind of that red, and I wanted to use two different colors when I do the adjustable knot to make it easy to see. For tools, all I have is my scissors to cut my cord, my thread burner to burn down the ends like I did the other day. The polyester cord will melt too. I've got my GS Hypo Cement. I've always had my beading awl next to me because I need it a lot. Sometimes when I mess up and I have to take a knot out, I use that. It helps for that. I have a couple little clips that I'm going to use when I do the adjustable knot because I have to have extra help holding things sometimes. I'm not going to go into as much detail as I did on that other video, like as far as setting up the macrame board and everything. If you need more detail, I'm going to try to put a link up in the corner of the video. I've never done that before, so I don't know if I'll be successful, but I'm going to try. But I'll also put a link in the description box below, so in case that little link doesn't work. So I'm going to get ready here, and I'll be back. Okay. I think I forgot to mention I've got a little T-pin here that I'm going to use to pin my little link to my board. The cord I've got here, I'm going to use the red for the center of my cord, and I've got a piece here. I don't know how long this is, but it's way too long, but I like to have enough to be able to put in the notches of my board and keep it good and tight. The purple is what I'm going to use to do the knotting. It's hard to know how much to cut off when you're doing a macrame. It depends on the size of the cord. If you're using beads, it depends on the size of the beads. Of course, it takes more cord to go around a big bead than a little bead. But I usually do about 1 foot per inch. I know that sounds like a lot, but the knots take up quite a bit. Plus, you're going to double it, so that's going to be just half the amount on each side. And my little link here is about about a quarter of it. No, about 3/4 of an inch. So that's gonna take that much off my bracelet, and I'm going for about a 7-inch bracelet. So that means I need about 3 inches. It's gonna be in the center, and I'm gonna macrame on one side and macrame on the other side. So I need about 3 inches on each side, and that's about 3/4 of an inch. So that'd make almost a 7-inch bracelet. So I'm gonna take my cord that I'm gonna knot with, and I'm gonna find the center. I'm going to put my ends together and find the center. And take my little link. This is a little tricky because the little loop on my link is not very big. Try to get it through there. Okay, there we go. And I'm just going to make a lark's head knot. It's really simple. You just put that loop through there like I did. And then you take the rest of your cord and you pull it through the loop. And then you just tighten it up. And that makes a little lark's head knot. It's really easy. Now I'm going to pull it back here. And I'm going to take the cord that I'm going to use for my center. And I'm going to put it through. See if I can get it through there. I did before when I was experimenting with this. It'll go through there, I promise. There it goes. Okay. So that's going to be the center cord. There's two center cords this time. So I'm going to put this on my board. I'm going to pin my link on here, the T-pin. And then I'm going to put my cords through. First I'm going to put my center cords, what I'm using for my center cord, through my notches. I want my purple cord to be on either side because that's what I'm going to knot with. Okay, there. Now, see if I can zoom in a little. That's not straight. I can't stand that. My OCD can't stand that. I can straighten him up a little here. Okay. Tighten it up a little down here. And when the cord is so tight against the board here, it's kind of hard to get up and under there like we need to do. I usually put something under here. I'm going to put my beading all under here just to pop it up a little bit there to help get the cord under there. So let's see if I can zoom in a little bit more without going completely off the screen. Okay, so I'm going to do like I did the other day, I'm going to do my P. I'm going to take this side, I'm going to go over this cord, under the center cord, through the loop of the P, and tighten. And I'm going to make my Q, go over this cord, under this cord, through the loop of the Q, and tighten. And then I'm going to take my P, go over this cord, under the center cord, through the loop of the P, and tighten. I'm going to make my Q, go over this cord, under this cord, through the loop of the Q, and tighten. I'm going to make my P, go over this cord, under the center cord, through the loop, and tighten. Make my Q, go over this cord, under the center cord, through the loop, and tighten. So I'm going to do about 3 inches on this side, then I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to do exactly the same thing and 3 inches on this side, and then I'll be back. Okay, I'm down to my last 3 knots on this side, and I wanted to do those with you because the last 3 knots is where I start using my glue. So I'm going to put a little glue on my center cords. I'm going to make my P. Come over this cord, under the center cord, through the loop of the P, tighten, my beading all back in there so I have a little room to work. I ended up with not too much extra cord, so I didn't have too much after all. And I always rather have enough than too little. Okay, now I'm gonna make my second of my last 3 knots and put a little glue there over this cord, under this cord, under the center cord, tighten, make my Q, over this cord, under the center cord, through the loop, tighten, a little more glue, make my P, and over this cord, under the center cord, through the loop, tighten, make my Q, over this cord, under the center cord, through the loop, and tighten. So let me take this off here and I'll be back. Okay, I've already cut my cords off on this side, so now I'm going to do this side. First I'm going to take just some glue and do just a little bit. It might be more than a little bit on that last knot. And then I'm going to take my scissors. See, let me zoom in a little bit more. And I'm going to cut just really, really close on both sides. Be a little bit closer on this side. I'm going to take my thread burner. I'm going to burn down that little bit there on both sides. Seal that in. Okay. Now I'm going to cut off a piece of thread to do my sliding knot with. Okay. And I'll be back. Now I'm going to take this side, take my red cord, and make just an overhand knot. I'll take my beading awl and put it in here to guide my knot down close to the work. And do the same thing on this side. Okay, now I'm going to lay my 2 red cords next to each other, and I like to put a little clip on here to hold it, because y'all know me, I need extra help holding things. Okay, now, let's see. I don't think my cords are good and straight there. Hold on, let me get them straighter. Okay, I got them a little straighter now. Now I've got a piece of my purple cord here. It's probably about 15 inches long. That's probably way too much, but I'm going to find the center. And I'm just going to make some square knots over these red cords, just like I've been doing. The red cords are going to be like my center cords were when I had it on the board. So I'm going to find the center. I'm going to make my P. I'm going to hold this. I'm going to come over this cord, under all the red cords, through the loop of the P, and tighten. It doesn't really matter where it is yet because it's going to slide when we get done. I'm probably going to make about 5 or 6 of these. I'm going to do my Q, over, under, tighten. That's 1 square knot. You don't want to tighten too terribly much because you want it to be able to slide when you get done. I'm going to make my P. Make my square knot, half of my square knot. Make my Q. The other half of my square knot. Make my P. Start on my 3rd square knot. Make my Q. Make my P. Start on my 4th. I'm going to take this clip off here now that I've got some knots in. I don't need them, I don't think. Make my P. Starting on my 4th square. I'm going to slide this up a little. Make my P. Starting on my 4th square knot. Make my Q. Make my P, starting on my 5th square knot. And you don't have to make 6, you can make 4, 6, 8, whatever you want to do. Make my P. Make my P, starting on my 6th square knot. Make my Q, finish up my 6th square knot. Now I'm going to put a little bit of glue right here, but I want to be really careful not to get any glue on these red cords, because if you do, then this will glue to the red cord and it won't slide. So I'm going to put just a little bit of glue and make sure not to get any. If I can get it to come out, usually can't stop it from coming out. There it is. Be really careful, don't get any on the red cords. Hope I didn't get any. I might have got some on there. See if I can get this glue closed back up. Well, closed up easy that time. Okay. Make sure it's still sliding good. And now I'm going to do like I did before. I'm going to cut off leave just a tiny bit. Just enough to burn down a little. If you leave too much, then it ends up getting black because you're burning so much. Take my thread burner, Some people do this with a lighter, but I'd end up catching the house on fire. Burn down my ends there, okay. Okay, make sure we're still sliding good. Okay, now you want to see how much, you want to get it kind of even on each side. Just kind of pull it through and get it sort of even on each side. Decide how much you need to go around the biggest part of your wrist. And I think that'd be big enough for probably anybody, so try to leave the same amount, just about the same amount on each side here. And now I'm going to make a knot with these 2-piece cords. Take my beading awl and put it in there to guide it down. Hold on a second. Okay, I knew it seemed like I was forgetting something. First, before I make my knot, I want to put my little star bead on here. I'm going to put him on both cords. He'll go on both cords. I've tried it. I know he will. There we go. Now I'm going to make a knot. And just make sure to keep enough there so that you'll have room to pull your sliding closure there. I'm going to put a knot right about there. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I didn't cut that too good, but I'll be cutting it off anyway. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to try to get my knot on this side about the same place. Doesn't have to be exact, but I thought I was going to have way too much of all this thread, and it turned out I didn't really have way too much. My knot came out. One of my threads is wanting a knot and the other one's not. Pull him out and start over. Okay, there we go. Okay, now I think that'll be okay. Now I'm going to cut the extra thread off. And there we have a little sliding knot. You can put it on. I don't want to put it on me because nothing fits me. But you got the little stars for a little decoration there. Just pull it back out, makes it adjustable. So that's that. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. I really appreciate you watching my videos and subscribing to my channel. As always, thank you for joining me today. I'm sorry I had to stop for a minute there. I just kind of got all up in my feelings there for a minute. It's just that I am just so overwhelmed with how nice you all have been to me, and sometimes it just is so touching. I get a little choked up, and I'm sorry. As usual, thank you all so much for joining me. I have a website where I sell my jewelry. It's Teresa's Handmade Jewelry, and I'll put a link to it in the description box below in case you're interested, along with a link to my Facebook and Instagram. I really enjoy reading all the comments you all post. I appreciate all the people who watch my videos and who have subscribed to my channel. If you haven't, I'd really love it if you'd subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified when I upload a new video. Until next time, I hope you all have a great day. Take care.